back to the course. It's about 78 degrees, Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. We've knocked out a couple holes already. We're just changing cups this morning, so that was number 4. We're actually going to skip over number 5. If you remember, there's just a few people that live around this hole that don't like to hear us this early in the morning. So as a courtesy, if we're told that, we can always come back. We're not going to wait too much longer. Basically after 7 a.m. everything is fair game. Maybe you should know that if you're ever considering living on a golf course. But we can definitely extend in this courtesy. We'll go to number 6, see what time it is, probably come back and change this one. So hole 6, that dark red dot, that's where we're going to be putting the flag, which is barely visible right there. So this video is not going to be so much about changing pins. You've seen me do that on another video. Feel free to go back and watch that one if you like. This one's more so gonna be about how much you make working on the grounds crew at a golf course. If that's something that you guys are interested, I thought I would share it with you and some of my feelings about it. But it's 6:42 in the morning, so we're gonna head on to number 7. We do have a little treat. Brought some blue Gatorade for us from the house, as you saw earlier. But anyway, let's get going. So I guess one of the first things to discuss with yourself really is where you are in your life. Are you a kid that's in school, just looking for a summer job, waiting for the new school year to start up? Is this your first job? Are you in between jobs? Or are you just looking to completely change your career? Those are going to be important factors when thinking about doing this, purely because you're going to have different responsibilities at those times in your life. So for example, at this property, we actually have people that are retired. They're 60, 65 years old, and they're essentially working here enough to qualify for the health benefits, but nothing really more. So that's kind of another, option that you're probably going to see. So there's all sorts of people at all different stages of their life working on the course. Another thing is going to be experience. Have you ever done this before? Did you maybe do it back in high school or your college years, and then you went on to another job, and 10 years later, maybe you're in between jobs and applying to different companies, but just want to make a little money before you hear back? Obviously, you're going to get more if you have experience. And what I'm talking about is specifically related to the grounds crew. So I will share a little bit of information about an assistant superintendent, or a spray tech, someone that's completely devoted to spraying, or even superintendents themselves. But the figures that I'm going to give you are related to if you just want to work on the grounds crew. Now, if being an assistant superintendent or superintendent itself, I highly recommend you go to school. You get a degree in turf management, agronomy. You're gonna need it to be a superintendent, 100%. I have heard of assistant superintendents that don't have a turf degree, but here in Palm Beach County, Florida, the golf capital of the world, there's just so many courses that there's a chance that maybe they just need someone with a ton of experience that maybe does not have their degree. But if you live in a smaller town with limited courses, chances are your assistant superintendent and definitely your superintendent are gonna have degrees. So if you don't have either one of those two and you don't plan on going to school to get them, then basically working on the grounds crew is where you have to start. Another thing to realize is the course that you're working at. Are you working at your local muni course, or are you working at a private club such as this one? It all depends. Usually the private clubs have a bigger budget, but they also might have more staff. So that's definitely something to look out when you're applying to golf courses. I think they think I'm talking too much. So like I've said in other videos, you're not gonna get rich doing this, working on the grounds crew. Just not gonna happen. So I just want to level set with you there. There are a ton of benefits that are non-monetary. We can talk about that in another video, but from a money side, yeah, you're just, you know, not gonna be killing it by any means. But anyway, getting down to brass tacks. Let's say you have no experience, you're out of school, looking for a job, maybe applying to some other companies, waiting to hear back, need some money. They're probably gonna start you around 12 bucks an hour, I'd say. Now, every state tax is different, what have you. I'm gonna say if you sign up for the company healthcare plan, work the normal 80 hours, you're probably gonna be taking home $1,500 in cash a month. So is that something that you can live off of? I don't really know. But for beginners with no experience, that's what I would expect if I was you. Now, you can always work overtime hours, that's time and a half, and that could substantially increase that take-home pay, but that's what I would expect. Also, if you even get a dollar bump in that, that's a couple $1,000s a year more in your pocket, which could pay for, let's say, how much do you spend in groceries a year? Probably, you know, a couple $1,000. So there you go. But that's what I would expect if you're brand new to this business and you're going to a course such as this, maybe a private club. Could be a little less if you're going to a municipal track. But yeah, no experience. I'm gonna say $12 an hour, $1,500 in your pocket per month. And let's say you do have experience. You've been doing this for a few years. Maybe you're wanting to get out of the town that you live in, the city. Maybe you want to move to South Florida. That's one of the non-monetary benefits of this, right? There's a plethora of golf courses here. It's easy to find work. I'd expect you'd probably be making around $15 an hour. You can equate that probably to, what, 30 grand a year before tax, before deductions. Is that something that's livable for you? If you don't have kids or you're not married, you keep your living expenses low, yeah, you could survive on that just by working at the course, not supplementing your income any other way. So yeah, I'd say a few years of experience and coming to a place with an abundance of golf courses such as Florida, I'd say $15 an hour is fair. So that supplemental piece is important. What's stopping you from going around your neighborhood, putting out some flyers and charging people 800 bucks in labor to lay, let's say 1,200 square feet of sod, right? You're gonna learn how to lay sod on the course probably in your first or second week. You know, that's 3 pallets of sod. That's fair. You can easily do that. That's a nice little payday for you. Or like I mentioned, a lot of the courses like this one will let you borrow equipment from the actual course. No high dollar items, but you could grab a mower, not a real mower, but a rotary mower, a blower, you know, some rakes, some shovels, and you could go around your neighborhood and knock out a few lawns for 40 bucks a pop. That's also something. So that's kind of another non-monetary benefit. And your schedule allows you to do that. Like today, we're only working until 9 a.m. So I could schedule a little mow or a side project this afternoon and put some more money in my pocket. A lot of the skills that you're going to learn on the golf course also transfer to a lot of other businesses. Like I'm just spitballing, but let's just say there's a pool builder in your area. You know, that's a good business. Those people are making quite a bit of money on the margins of what it costs to build the pool and what they actually charge people for it. But you know how to do irrigation, you learned it on the course. You can seal joints, that's not hard. And then a lot of that other stuff is just manual work, using a skid loader, which you're gonna know how to do, leveling, which you know how to do, and then probably just honestly labor, you know, moving dirt around. And you can easily do that. Maybe they're paying 18 bucks an hour. So it's just things like that. It's getting the skills from the course and then using your imagination and seeing where else they apply. But I think what you're gonna find is they apply to quite a lot of other industries. What you're also gonna find is a lot of people at the course, this isn't their only job. They might, be out of here early in the afternoon during the work days. We wrap up around 2:30, go home, take a shower, maybe take a nap, and head to a restaurant and wait tables, or be a bartender, or be a bar back. Or, maybe people hop in their car for a few hours at night and do Lyft or Uber. People get creative and they find ways to supplement the pay that might be a little low in your eyes just solely doing this. And I get the amount of money that we're talking about is not a lot. And maybe, I don't know you, but maybe telling your family or your friends you only make $12 an hour is something that's embarrassing to you. Or working 2 jobs is beneath you. I mean, I get it. I understand. But there's other things that go into it. If you want to work outside, if you want to lose weight, if you want to kind of change the direction of your life, if you want to live in a new town and just, want to find a job and get yourself settled in, just change things up, then those are all things to think about. But no, I understand, the optics of it. That, hey, maybe you have to work 2 jobs to get by. But that's life. And that's kind of a lot of things that face people that work on grounds crews in the beginning. And I just want to be realistic and open and honest. That's the only reason I say that. Just so you have an idea of what you're dealing with financially if this is something that appeals to you. Now, if you're wondering about superintendents, in this area, they typically make 6 figures. But mind you, they've gone to school, they have their degrees, their certifications, they've passed their chemical licenses, all that stuff. And also, remind yourself that they too once worked on a grounds crew, probably for many, many years. They probably did internships in college, so they know what you're going through, which is a nice thing, because I don't know about you, but it's not fun working for someone that has no idea what you do or can't do the task themselves. They tend not to appreciate the hard work that goes into it, but it's not going to be an issue working on the golf course for superintendents. As far as the assistants go, they don't make nearly as much, but they still make a healthy living. Some, I'd say, maybe make 50% of what the superintendent does. I'm not an assistant superintendent, nor am I a superintendent. So I don't know exact figures for that, so I apologize. But from what I've learned, that's about right. Now, the one caveat or disclaimer to all this is based on my experience of where I live and the course that I work at. It could be radically different for you based on where you live, what state, or even what country. And if that's the case, please feel free to leave a comment down below sharing your experiences, because I'm sure people watching this video will probably like to know that information. I know this video was a little bit different than all the other ones. I'm not even sure if it was something you guys were wondering, but I just wanted to make it for you, be as realistic as possible, just so you have that information if this is something you want to do. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to knock out this final hole, the 18th. Then we're going to go home and watch some football. Hope you all enjoy your weekend.